I know the wonderful people and I know the scum. And America now is winning again like they haven't won before. I am for America first and the American worker. We want to be a puppet for no one any longer. We're not going to be a puppet any longer.
All right, that was the president earlier tonight in Florida. President Trump is staying focused on implementing his agenda, keeping his promises, while the Russia witch hunt continues despite zero evidence after 400 and whatever many days of Russia collusion. Today, former New York City Police Commissioner Bernie Kerik, he wrote an op-ed, very important, quote, Mueller's weaponized justice system should scare all Americans. Bernie Kerik, hero of 9/11, joins us in studio, along with the author. She is selling author. The New York Times. Now, that is the hugest accomplishment for a person that I love, admire, and she fills on this show, and she's got her own show, Liars, Leakers, Liberals, The Case Against the Anti-Trump Conspiracy, host of Justice Jeanine. Now, here's a problem I have. So Greg's book came out much after yours. Your book has been #1 on the New York Times list. Okay, he's #1 on Amazon. So I got the two #1 people here,
you're
and
so
I have to say,
lucky. We love you. We all come on to be on your show.
all right, well, I love it when you fill in. Here's what I'm worried about. I want to bring people inside the justice system. This is a different discussion. Sammy the Bull Gravano. Didn't they know he killed 19 people? They did, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. They gave him a deal. They said, if you testify, I think it was against John Gotti Sr. at the time. Okay. The Teflon Don. If you testify, we're not going to put you in jail for killing 19 people. Some say 20. He then gets the government to give him a house in Arizona in a witness protection program. In other words, they put the screws to him. If you sing or compose, I don't know what he did. I don't remember the case. We're going to give you a sweetheart deal. Now, you got all these people getting sweetheart deals in the Manafort case. So here's my question as a judge and as an attorney. How often do they offer deals like this? And aren't there many people that say, well, what do you want me to say to keep me out of jail?
Well, look, there's no question, and it speaks to the article that Bernie wrote today, and that is that U.S. attorneys very often have a political agenda, and that political agenda will determine whether or not they want to forgive someone who has murdered 19 people that they can prove beyond a reasonable doubt so that they can go after someone else. They're going after Mueller, and Bernie can talk about this, because they want to squeeze him. They're going after Michael Cohen.
Why would you ever let somebody who killed 19 people make a deal? Isn't he going to say whatever you want him to say?
Well, you know what? When I was a DA, I would make deals with drug dealers to get after the guy who was above that drug dealer. You do it all the time in law enforcement.
Okay, but what credibility do they have, Bernie? And this goes to the heart of your article today.
Listen, the credibility is slim, and here's the problem. Every one of the people I mentioned in the article, Cohen, Flynn, and Manafort, they are specifically investigative targets just because they knew Trump, just because they were associated with Trump.
Yep.
All three. And Cohen, who I'm pretty disappointed with at this stage, but Cohen, ironically, was his attorney, and they targeted him intentionally for this reason, to create a conflict, make him a witness, and guarantee that he can no longer talk to Trump. That's the purpose behind targeting the attorney. And now, you know, you talk about what they did with Sammy the Bull. They charged Michael Flynn with one false statement.
By the way, both FBI agents and Comey said they didn't think he was lying.
Right.
And he's had to sell his home. And they said, well, we're going to go after your kid. I'm assuming that happened, and I guarantee you it happened. And he said, so what father's not going to dive on the sword to kill themselves for their kid? Did he do that?
Well,
probably.
There's no question. They do it all the time. That's what they do to get people to plead. We're going after your son, your accountant, your mother, your daughter. We want this guy, and in order to get him, everyone he's ever touched is who.
Why would a jury ever believe somebody who cut a deal to save their ass?
Because the prosecutor will pick a jury, and he will tell them, look, this is the only way we can prove a crime. We don't even like doing what we do. And then the jury says, well, wait a minute. And what they're doing in the Manafort case, they're bringing in all kinds of evidence to show he thinks he's above the law. He bought Persian rugs and he bought an ostrich jacket.
All right, how great was the judge today? If you're, excuse me, if you're wealthy, it's not a crime.
Right. He's great. He's a great
I'm gonna
judge.
tell you something. I give this judge a lot of credit. Emmett Sullivan, the judge in the Flynn case, the new judge. These guys know.
Sullivan said, I'll decide what's exculpatory. Give me all of it.
No, that's exactly right. And that's fortunate for these men because normally that's not the case. Normally the prosecutors, federal prosecutors, sort of run rogue over these cases. And when they do so, the judges sit back and let them do what they want.
If I'm on a jury and I'm listening to the defense ask, now, did you cut a deal with those guys over there? So did they threaten to put you in jail? Did they say you're not going to go to jail if you do this? I'm dismissing that person because I don't believe you. If you cut a deal to get out of jail, you're going to be honest. You were basically bribed and paid.
Well,
true or false? True or false?
If you were going to do that, yes. But if you have people sitting on a jury and the prosecutor already has them,
aren't they bribing the witnesses? Yes or no?
Yes or no? Yes, yes.
They're bribing the witnesses.
But it's even worse than that sometimes. They're bribing the witnesses to get them to testify, but a lot of times
compose.
And it's what Alan Dershowitz said earlier. They extort testimony that's false out of these people.
That's what Judge Ellis meant when he said sing or compose. What would you like me to say to keep me out of jail?
Look, it's the same with Michael Cohen. I said on my show this weekend, that guy, he'll confess to sinking the Titanic because he wants to get out of jail. And when the jury looks at him, they're going to say, well, the prosecutor makes a good case. They had to do this to get the evidence. Otherwise, they can't get the bad guys.
I'm sorry. I don't believe bribery is the only way to get
Do you know
evidence.
what the conviction rate is in federal prosecutors? 97, 98%.
98%.
98%.
In state courts, it's 65 to 75% around the country.
The feds got you by the short.
By what? Did you have to say that? That's
what?
not going to make news. You're going to be on the headline of Media Eye. Why did you say that?
Because I want them to know. My point is that the feds, when they squeeze you tight.
All right. Good to see you both. We got to roll. By the way, Judge Pirro's book right now on the New York Times is the number one. Say it, Bernie. Number one. Liars, leakers,
Washington
liberals.
Post.
In stores everywhere. Greg's is number one on Amazon. You've been out for how many weeks?
Number one on Amazon. Yeah.
Proud of you. All right. Jesse and Jessica. Wow. This will get interesting next. Straight ahead.